look, we know, had a great rally in the last half hour, but you have to accept, you and me, that the world has changed, and we need to change with it. From now on, when we come in on a Monday, we're not going to be focused on sales or earnings of companies, but we're going to be focused on coronavirus infections and fatalities. These days, the pandemic controls the action. You can get a bounce like we had today, one of the greatest bounces I've ever seen. Dow gained 1,985 points. S&P climbed 9.29%. NASDAQ jumped 9.35%. Yes, those are not mistakes. All on the backs of an extremely oversold position, most in years, a 2.87% yield for the Dow coming in today, and the White House has put together a private sector coalition to boost testing. But until this virus is contained or cured, or just naturally levels out, you should expect much of this gain to be repealed, more selling, and if we don't get the fiscal help needed to preserve the rudiments of our service-based economy, I think today is going to end up being a good day to sell. And it already happened, maybe Monday. Let's be real. We can't sustain a meaningful rally here as opposed to the late Friday afternoon, not to be trusted short squeeze until we have the COVID-19 situation under control. And we can't get things under control without test kits and some sort of antibody medicine that triumphs over this scourge. We're going to talk about that later in the show. We know there are two paradigms here. We've got South Korea, okay, which is doing it right? We have Italy, which has been totally overwhelmed. So far, we seem to be following the Italian trajectory. I think post-NBA, maybe that's what changed things. It looks like we're following more of a South Korean trajectory. But we got to be watching these COVID numbers like a hawk. Because if this trend continues, I predict pain. But if we can be more like South Korea, this market can catch fire, especially if the Treasury Secretary and the House Speaker hammer out a deal to tide over the entire sphere of commerce and protect the otherwise soon-to-be unemployed working person. It is that binary. We simply won't be on terra firma as long as the corona numbers keep surging and Dr. Tony Fauci has to come out and not reassure us, because he can't, that the illness is 10 times more deadly than the regular flu. It's a fact. Who wants to go outside when every authority figure is telling you to stay home? You can't go out to eat or see a game, if any games are still being played, and stay at home at the same time. The Amazon economy, which is what we're developing, is not a sustainable economy, even if it's great for Amazon shareholders. Now, we did have a couple positives today. I like the private sector coalition that came together to boost testing. Hate him or like him, Trump put together an impressive group in no time flat. You could be cynical about Walmart and Target and Walgreens and CVS, but after a while, there's too many to be cynical about. And for the stock market purposes, we did hear some magic words this morning when Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin said that he'll provide all the liquidity the markets need to remain orderly. When the Fed made that exact same statement in the crash of 87, terrible Tuesday, that caused the market to turn around and it never looked back. Listen.
There will be liquidity available. Whatever we need to do, whatever the Fed needs to do, whatever Congress needs to do, we will provide liquidity, and this will be an entire whole-of-government approach led by the president.
That's it. That's what you need to hear. That's what made this market go up, really. Even if we have a recession, that means we won't have a financial crisis. And even if we can just keep the system going, there's always the possibility that Regeneron or Eli Lilly, those are the ones that are closest, can come up with a treatment for the virus. I know Gilead has something similar. I expect an answer from them as soon as this month. That said, I don't like that none of these biotechs has been leaking good news. Believe me, if they had a real breakthrough, I think they'd just stop testing it and just give it to everybody immediately. On the other hand, Len Schleifer, the CEO of Regeneron, and the first guest we had on the show 15 years ago, when the stock was at 5, it's now at 465, says he's confident in his approach and moving fast. Lilly's equally confident, as you'll hear later in the show. Remember, there's always a possibility that something can go right. If somebody comes up with a viable treatment, you wish you bought stocks even as the crazy exalted levels we saw at the close, when the shorts panicked and the algo funds exacerbated the upside, just as they aggravated the downside yesterday. I don't like either side, by the way. I don't like it when it goes up like this. I don't like it when it goes down like this. That's why I think you need to buy stocks, though, with safe dividends here, as well as highest growth techs. Although the key is to buy them gradually on the way down, not chase, like today, on a vicious artificial close up. I hate that kind of Friday rally. Why? Because it is not sustainable. So call me cautious going forward after this insanely positive day.
Don't miss a second of Mad Money. Follow @Jim Cramer on Twitter. Have a question? Tweet Cramer. #MadTweets. Send Jim an email to madmoney@cnbc.com or give us a call. at 1-800-743-CNBC. Miss something? Head to madmoney.cnbc.com.